Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm excited about networking with everybody out there today. My first guest is Allison Carmen. We just heard her ad. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You've been on several times now. I want you to get right up on that
Okay.
mic. And I want you to, first of all, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do. And also, I want to talk about when you say it's a free service, that what people have to understand that too.
Absolutely, sure.
Go ahead.
So I started about 2010, and I was coming off of the 2008 banking crisis, going for a career change because I was an industrial engineer for big corporations. And I decided that I just kind of fell into this, and I fell in love with it. So I had helped a friend find something for his mother, and when I said that you could live in a little nice apartment, 3 meals a day, housekeeping, utilities, Wi-Fi, cable, transportation, everything all inclusive, I thought, well, I've never heard of this. This is the best thing since sliced bread. So I started my career. And that 16 years later, I've helped more than 20,000, talked to more than 20,000 families and helped more than 5,000 transition.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That really truly
Yeah.
is. And I want to talk about the free.
Yeah, so we are, so a referral agent, a senior living referral agent, is a free service to all seniors and their families. So it's very similar to like an apartment locator. So apartment, if you've ever tried to go get an apartment, you usually use an apartment locator. And they're online, they're all over. They never charge you anything for that because they have contracts with all those apartment complexes. Well, I have the same thing. I have contracts with a whole bunch. I have lots of contracts with all different levels of senior living, but they pay me a referral fee. That fee never, ever gets passed on to the senior or their family. You get all the same benefits, everything, all the same concessions and everything that the communities offer. You just get our guidance. So unlike a apartment locator, we have to know so much more. It's very, very complex, very, very hard for people to find what they actually need right the first time. So with us, you have confidence when you go to find, when we do the research, and we usually take about an hour or more to talk about what they want, what they need, what they can afford, what location. By the time we understand that, it's probably 2 or 3 places max. But we know exactly where they want to go, so it's a great way to utilize our service.
So what I love about my show is that we also go live on Facebook,
Yep.
right? And I want people to know that a lot of times when I say maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know,
Right.
tell them about this, you
Right.
know? And I'm telling you, this is where this falls in. So I do want to say hello to everybody out there on Facebook, but I do want to also say to everybody out there, it could be you or someone that you know, please tell them about that. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about how you take them on tours. And you just said, you probably, because you've been
Right.
doing this for so long,
Mm-hmm.
when you meet somebody and you
Mhm.
get to know them for the, whatever you have that conversation with them, I guarantee you, in your mind, you have 1 or 2 places you know are
Right
probably
away.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was just listening to a mountain climber on the way over here on a podcast, and he was talking about the movie. I can't remember where they're basically climbing without any help. They don't have ropes and stuff attached to them. It's free climbing or something like that. But anyways, he said, it shows us doing that, but it didn't show the 10 years that he took to learn how to do that. So everybody thinks, oh, well, he can
It's a
just
great
do it,
analogy.
right? So it's taken me 16 years to really hone my craft and my reputation and what I know. And you can't learn that overnight. And that's why we look kind of like miracle workers, because we can step in and say, I think I've got the right place for you. You're right. I think right away when I'm talking to them, 1 or 2 places. But I always go home, do my research, make the phone calls, make sure I'm right. Then I present it to them, and they always look at me flabbergasted when we go on a visit, or they go on a visit on their own. Either way, I have people who want us to come, people who don't want us to come. So either way, we can work that out. But they're always flabbergasted. They look at me like, this can't be possible that we could have this in the first or second try. And it is possible.
So
but
a
it's
lot of-
that expertise behind it.
Exactly, because a lot of people think, well, I can do that on my own.
Oh, yeah, because we make it look easy.
Yeah,
Right,
but it's very hard.
right,
And especially when you think about how many places we have here.
right. We have over 2,200 facilities, or what we call communities, because that's what they are. They're a community.
Mhm.
So if you think about how people live in a community in the blue zones, where people live well over 100 years of age while very healthy and great lives, the reason they're doing that is because they're in a community. And that community feeds them. And so what we have to do is be matchmakers with that kind of person, that kind of background, and match them with the right community so that they thrive.
Well, let me give out your information because it's very important. First one, I also want people to understand you do not want to wait. You want to have a conversation, talk to your parents. I know it's so hard. It's a very
Yeah.
difficult conversation. But if you wait till it's too late, it's a scramble. It's a huge scramble.
Well, you're trying to do something very difficult in a crisis situation. So your brain literally can't take in information as well then when you're planning. So everybody, almost everybody knows what a financial planner is.
Mhm.
Almost everybody knows what a real estate agent is, right? So you're planning. You say, well, I'm gonna go buy a house. Well, I better talk to a real estate agent, all right? I better buy insurance. I better go talk to my insurance broker. That's because they're experts in their field. This is the same thing. So people, although people get their wills and their trusts and all of that done, and they say, oh, it's all right here for you if anything happens to us. Well, guess what? That's not what's going to happen.
No.
That's not going to tell them anything about what to do when you can't live at home anymore.
Right. And usually what happens is somebody is scrambling. They call, and they'll call you when they're in crisis mode.
Right.
It's usually, you said last time, I think you said it's usually the daughter.
It's usually 66% of the people who look for something are daughters or daughter-in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, her phone number is 480-573-6508. It's a place for seniors with an S.org. This is a no-cost service to you, the families. You service all of Arizona, Colorado, Utah, and New Mexico. You're rated with the Better Business Bureau, and you're what you call a certified senior advisor. You're also a dementia certified practitioner. And we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, I want to talk about how important that is too.
Yep.
And I think what's really important, folks, is that whether it's you or someone that you know, it might be you sitting there right next to somebody right now, you know,
Yep.
and it's your husband or wife or significant other that you're living with, that it's just, you can see that you can't be doing it anymore.
Right.
Right?
Right. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about that.
Well, we're going to go to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk further. The number to call her is 480-573-6508. I'm going to say this too. Put the number in your phone, especially if you are that daughter or daughter-in-law. You know, she's
Yep.
saying 60 some odd percent.
It's not when, it's not if, it's when.
When.
Yeah.
And so put the number in the phone so that you have it in case something happens or you want to talk to her in advance and plan. 480-573-6508. It's a place for seniors.org. We'll be back in just a minute.
Great. We're still on with the
Facebook.
Facebook, great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, am I okay?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So, you know, I mean, we can go over all of this over and over and over again.
And you have to.
You do.
You have to, because people aren't listening until it's happening.
That's something else today.
Unfortunately. But what happens is that what you were talking about, like, don't wait too long. Why people wait is because of our stigma of what the quote unquote these places are like. So we have a stigma, right? We think nursing home. You're not going to put me there. I'm not going to go to one of those places. And so what I want to try to undo is that stigma and help people understand that there is resorts at every level of
Right, and
price.
that's what I was gonna say. One of the things that I think that people think that they just can't afford it.
That always think they can't afford
Right.
it, right.
So,
You can't afford not to, in actuality, because by staying home, you're declining. After the age of about 75, maybe 80, your body changes. We were just talking about our body changing, right?
Yeah.
Our hip replacements, our knee replacements, all those different things. Your body literally is a whole different body. And I've talked to many, mostly ladies that will tell me, honey, you don't know what old age is until you turn 80. And your body really starts to change.
That's
Well,
true.
our muscles don't work the way they usually do. They
Mhm.
start to really atrophy much faster.
Mhm.
So if you're sitting in a chair 8 hours a day, you're gonna lose your balance, you're gonna lose your ability to get up off the floor. So when you fall, you can't get up. And unfortunately, we have people that there's an actual term for it called the long lie, and people will lay on their floor for more than a day, 2 days. And you don't come back from that. You don't come back from that. And when you don't come back, I don't mean you pass, I mean you can't live alone anymore.
oh,
Right,
I know exactly what you're
Right.
talking about.
right.
My ex, I think I might have told you, my ex-mother-in-law who fell in front of her house,
Right.
right? And she
Mhm.
did, there was nothing that she could grab onto to
Right.
bring her up, so she, dragged herself
Gosh.
on rock.
Oh, my
And I don't
gosh.
even know what
Yeah.
time of year it was, but she ended up in the
30.
hospital. She went, and the next thing you know, no, she didn't get well enough to go back home.
No,
And the home
you don't
had
go
to-
back to baseline.
No.
Yeah. And so,
No.
but in addition to that, your costs triple. So now you're paying triple what you would have paid had you thought about this earlier.
Well, how come?
I'll tell you.
Okay, we'll do something. That's interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. So welcome back, everyone. I love talking to Facebook land and during the breaks because we really end up learning so much more,
Right,
right?
right.
And I want to talk about what we were just mentioning to each other, that when you said to me, tell me how you said it.
So what I said was, the thing people don't want to do is they want to tell me I'm not ready for that yet. What does that mean, I'm not ready? Or we don't need that yet. What does that mean, I don't need it? So what people don't understand, when we turn 80, or even in our late 70s, our bodies change drastically. So sitting in a chair watching the news or watching your soaps or watching whatever you're watching, your Hallmark channel, but you're sitting for more than 8 hours a day, your body's atrophying. Now when you fall, you can't get up. Now when you do get up, you're gonna shuffle to the kitchen or you're gonna shuffle to the bedroom or the bathroom and then back to your chair. And most adult children, if they ask, what are you doing, Mom, when they talk to them, oh, I'm sitting here watching whatever, right? And that's not enough exercise, that's your body declining. So what happens is you have all these ailments. You fall, you can have a heart attack. Living alone is one of the most non-medical precursors to a stroke. It's 40% chance of having a stroke.
Well, and then one of the things that you said was that you are actually, if you don't do something sooner rather than later, you're
Yeah.
paying more. And I asked you why.
Right, well, we talked about your mother-in-law.
Yeah,
Right,
we
so
did.
tell me, so she crawled, she fell, crawled, could not get back up,
Right?
could not stay in her home.
No.
Where did she end up going?
There was a facility
Right.
and she had to go
And
there.
that was probably expensive.
Very, but
Okay.
she would have wanted only that,
Right.
but it was very, very, very expensive.
Yeah, so it was
like
very
$5,000 a
expensive.
month.
Yeah, why was it $5,000? Because there's a base price.
Right.
Which the base price takes
That's
care
right.
of all the meals, housekeeping, utilities, all of that.
Mhm.
But then on top of that is $2,000 in care, probably
Right.
what was happening.
That's right.
So, people moving before she had fallen, had we actually gone and shown her some places that she would have thrived in, she would have had a community. Again, I'm coming back to that because it's so important for people to understand. When I go into these communities, whether they be 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 5,000 a month, They are happy, happy, happy people. And we all want to crack the nut on the blue zones. Why are these people living to over 100 very healthy? Because they're in a community. When we find the right community, you're not going to fall because you're going to exercise classes, physical therapy, you're walking up and down a lot further than from your couch to your kitchen.
Sure.
You're exercising without knowing it. Your core strength is much stronger. You're happy. You're
There's
not
people.
depressed.
Right, and she was depressed.
Yes,
She was
of
very
course she
depressed.
was. It's of course
But-
everybody living alone at some point gets into a depressive
So
state.
talk to the people that are listening
Yeah.
here, that I've never done that, I've never said this before, to the people that are living in their homes right now
Yeah,
and they want to go down with a ship.
yeah,
Talk to them, and because that's what it was, and she pushed it to the limit,
Yeah.
wasn't telling anybody that she was falling.
right.
So
Absolutely.
she really kind of dug her own hole. But talk to those people.
Well, Here's
do you
what
think?
seniors want. Seniors want autonomy, independence, choice, empowerment, and dignity and respect. Those are the 5 things that seniors want. What's at the top there? Autonomy and independence. Going down with the ship is what they think is staying independent. What they don't realize is they're losing their independence. Now, your mother-in-law gave up her choice.
Yeah.
She gave up her independence because she fell and she could not return home and live independently.
Right.
Living independently by yourself, being depressed, human beings have to be social. We are social people. You cannot live in your home day after day after day alone, talking to people only on the phone and watching television.
And some people aren't even doing that.
No.
And also, some people don't even have family
no,
members.
right, or you're estranged from your family for
Yeah,
whatever
that's another
reason.
thing.
For whatever reason, that happens all the time.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is, allow us to go put our toe in the water. Allow me to show you what else is possible once we understand there's resources, there's something that's affordable. Because if you put the cost of that house and all the things in it and everything you've done, and you put it aside, put it alongside of the cost of living in a community, it's actually less money to live in a community than it is to live alone. So people think, oh, I'm gonna die in my house, you're gonna take me out feet first. Unfortunately, that very rarely happens. It's a long, slow, depressing life. And although they're holding on to it because they don't know their options, they want to make their own choice. I do seminars in Sun City and Sun City West. I get people asking me to come out to their house right away that week, and we're going and looking right away because as soon as they understand this and they know there's somebody like me that will take them or show them the options, they want to do it right away.
I bet.
Mhm.
You know, you did mention this, I think it was the last time that you were on, maybe the first time, that there are communities out there that are affordable.
Very affordable.
Yeah, and that are nice.
Very nice.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, because
Yeah.
everybody thinks that when you say, oh, there's some that are less money, they're
Yeah.
gonna think that it's the dredges of the earth living, you know.
No.
And no, it's not like that.
No, they're very nice. They're remodeled, older. Maybe they're an older community, but they're remodeled. They're so a community, again, we're talking about a group of people. It's not a bells and whistles building. It's that's happening inside of that community. It's clean. I always make sure it's clean, right?
start.
And there's lots and lots. What do they have to compete on? They're all about the same price in certain, if you think about different buckets of economics, right? So they're all about the same price. So what they compete on is activities. So they have great activity directors. They have great food. They have really clean, nice apartments. That's what they're competing on because that's what is going to be there. That's why people's jaws drop when I take them
Because they don't realize.
they don't
that
have
it's
any
there.
idea that this exists. No.
So, let me say this, if you're listening right now and you want to give her a call, she could take you on a tour and you would probably find out that you could be living, take the money, sell the home, you know, and enjoy your life a little bit and not be alone.
Right. Right, you think that I'm gonna, have this house and that's your only asset. You wanna take that money and make it last a lifetime. I always work with a financial advisor or a really good realtor, as well as a transition specialist. I have Medicare specialists, everybody. I circle the wagons so that it's a boutique, white glove, handheld service from start to finish. So once they make that decision, then if they have those people already, that's fine. I can coordinate with them. If you don't have them, then I bring them in and we all coordinate together so that move is so seamless and easy.
The number to call is 480-573-6508. Her website is a place for seniors with an s.org. It is a no-cost service to you and the families. It makes sense. It just makes sense. And please, I'm going to say this, please, everybody. I know that older folks are they have their pride, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what? Tell people if you think something's going on,
Yeah.
tell them right away. Tell your family right away.
Yeah.
And by the way, family members, look and ask questions.
Well,
I think
you know
that's a
how
good
it
thing.
shows up a lot of times. Not all the time, but it can show up like your mom's not quite the person she used to be. She's demanding. She's calling me 4 or 5 times a day. She's wanting to know, or you have to drive for her and, where have you been? It's 10 minutes after. Well, you're running your whole life, right? So you're trying to get to mom, to get her to the to get her to the doctor's appointment, or dad. And that is how it shows up. So mom's not, or dad's not, it's not normal to age grumpy. It's not normal to do that. It's
Well,
a sign
I'm sorry to say.
It's a sign of depression. It's a sign of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening with loneliness and isolation.
And I will tell you though, with her, though, I think she was like that way longer ago.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Right. But
Uh-huh.
I think that was also just something that was happening that should have probably happened a long time ago.
With your
too.
mother-in-law?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She just didn't have her options.
Yeah,
If
no.
if somebody like me had walked up and said, "You want to go take a look?" I will tell you time and time and time again, they have gone with me and we have a great time because I'm closer to their age than anybody, than their kids usually. And when we go, I love to hear about their life. I love to hear what they're doing. That also helps me understand the kind of person they are and where I want to show them,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And I want to say also that our service isn't just about placement. It's about understanding all those aspects of aging, hospice, Medicare, if you're in the hospital and what to say to the doctor, what are the signs of dying? Some people don't even understand that their parent is at that stage.
This is full service.
Yeah.
And you're passionate. You
Uh-huh.
also have a podcast on it.
I
and
do.
Tell them where it is real quickly.
It's the podcast is at A Place for Seniors on Apple Podcasts. You can look it up on any of those.
So, but you right now do yourself a favor and write the number down. It's 480-573-6508. Check her out on her website. She's rated with the Better Business Bureau. Her phone number again is 480-573-6508. It is a place for seniors.org.